In the bustling heart of ancient Athens, where the smells of olive oil and baked bread mixed with the sounds of merchants and politicians in the agora, lived a man named Socrates. He was not a rich man, nor was he handsome. He wore the same simple robe every day and walked barefoot on the dusty roads. Yet, he was known as the wisest man in all of Greece. One sun-drenched afternoon, a young man named Ariston approached him. Ariston was the son of a wealthy nobleman, known for his quick wit, expensive tutors, and an unshakable belief in his own brilliance. He had come to the agora with his friends, intending to publicly challenge Socrates and prove the old philosopher was nothing but a fraud. "Old man," Ariston called out, his voice loud and arrogant. "They say you are the wisest man alive. Yet you claim to know nothing. Tell me, what is the meaning of courage?" Socrates, who had been quietly observing a stonemason at work, turned his kind, deep-set eyes upon the young man. A small, patient smile touched his lips. "That is a fine question, Ariston. You are a student of the great Protagoras, are you not? You must have studied this. Please teach me. What is courage?" Pleased to be recognized, Ariston stood tall. "Courage is simple," he declared. "It is standing firm in battle and not running from the enemy." "A fine answer," Socrates said, nodding slowly. "But tell me, if a soldier cleverly retreats to lead the enemy into a trap, and by doing so wins the battle, is he a coward?" Ariston hesitated. "Well, no, that would be a smart tactic. So, courage can sometimes be retreating as well as advancing?" Socrates asked gently. "I suppose so," Ariston admitted, his confidence wavering slightly. "And what of the doctor," Socrates continued, "who risks his own health to stay by the side of a patient dying from a terrible plague? He faces no army, yet is he not courageous?" "He is," Ariston said, his voice quieter now. "And the philosopher who stands before a crowd and speaks an unpopular truth, knowing they will hate him for it? Is that not a form of courage?" "It is," Ariston whispered. His friends had grown silent, watching the exchange intently. Socrates placed a hand on the young man's shoulder. "Then, Ariston, your first definition was incomplete. We have found many acts of courage that do not involve standing firm against an enemy. It seems this idea of courage is more complex than we first thought." Ariston looked at the ground, his face red with shame. He had come to humiliate Socrates, but instead, his own ignorance had been laid bare for all to see. He expected the crowd to laugh, to mock him. But Socrates did not laugh. His expression was one of genuine kindness. "Do not be ashamed, young Ariston," the philosopher said softly. "You are like a cup that is already full. You came to me filled to the brim with what you thought you knew. A full cup cannot accept any more water. Today, we have simply emptied that cup a little." He motioned to the sprawling, noisy city around them. "The oracle at Delphi called me the wisest man, not because I know all the answers, but because I am the only one who knows that I know nothing. The man who believes he is wise will never seek wisdom. The man who knows he is ignorant, who has an empty cup, is the only one who can truly begin to learn." Ariston looked up, meeting the old man's gaze. The arrogance was gone, replaced by a new, burning curiosity. He saw no judgment in Socrates' eyes, only an invitation. From that day forward, Ariston was often seen walking the agora, not as a proud challenger, but as a quiet student, following the barefoot philosopher, his cup empty and ready to be filled. He learned that motivation is not found in pretending to be perfect, but in having the courage to admit you are not, and in the knowing that you know nothing lies the first, most difficult, and most important step toward true knowledge.